Hello, once again, everyone. Welcome again to Spinistry Live. I am your race adventure host, Kevin Lee, and we are extremely excited to introduce a new project of ours this evening. And we're introducing it in a very unique and stylish manner. We're extremely excited about this. We mentioned it last week. We will be kicking off our Spinistry weekly adventures for Club Spinistry members this week. We actually had another adventure in mind for our kickoff event, but with some cool things going on in the world right now, we're going to take advantage of them. And it does line up with a ride that we already had planned. And it's just kind of one of those magical kismet things. Hopefully, everyone is aware of the Comet Neowise that's out there right now, and hopefully it's still out there in the days to come. It's a brand new comet. We don't know exactly how it works yet. We know how comets work in general, so we know where it's going to be, when it's going to be there. But since it's a brand new comet, we don't know how well it's going to hold together or not hold together. We know when it's going to be at its closest point to Earth. We know what it has been up to this point, visibility wise. Obviously, we're on a picture of it right now. I think this one's from the United Kingdom. But here's the big shift on Comet Neowise it's kicking in this week that we're most excited about. We don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go see it. We can see it just after sunset starting this week. Obviously, you have to get somewhere where you can see it pretty well. And that's what we think we have to offer with our kickoff Spinistry Weekly Adventure. So, for the Spinistry Weekly Adventure Comet Neowise edition, we're going to go over where and when to see it. And this covers basically all of North America, to my understanding. How to find the best spots to view it. This is actually pretty cool. And for Club Spinistry members, we're going to have some suggested bicycle and overland routes. And as I mentioned earlier, we actually already have a Club Spinistry ride going on Saturday night that ties into this perfectly. So we're going to have a Club Spinistry viewing ride Saturday night that should go out. We'll talk about it in a little bit more detail. Should go out, weather permitting, to probably the best spot close to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro Mess that should still allow you to be able to see it. If you are a Club Spinistry member, and we're putting together several suggested routes for bicycles or overland, car camping, or just getting out and about in the family and seeing something during the day where maybe you end up at a good spot at night to see the comet. We're going to put together several of those routes that apply for everyone. But if you're a Club Spinistry member and you want some help coming up with a custom route for an area of the country, or particularly an area that might be in Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, maybe even Louisiana potentially, we probably have some good stuff for you. Other parts of the country, we can help give you some tips on how to find a good spot. We'll go into the next step on the where and when to see it. And here's just a really basic chart. So this is the horizon. And essentially, from July 14th on, about 30 minutes after sunset, wherever you are in North America, look to the northwest and you should be able to see the comet. Now, you're probably seeing a lot of pictures around, going on the zoomed in version, kind of like this, where the comet really stands out. Please be aware, these are photographs that are taken with open shutters or long shutter speeds and things like that. So they might be exposing the comet itself more than you might see with the naked eye. That said, it's supposed to be getting closer, so if things work out, it may be getting brighter. It is recommended, though, that you try to view it with binoculars or a telephoto lens or a telescope or something like that. But again, it's a new comet. People don't know how it's going to react. And that's one of the things, you want to see it when you can, because it's on its journey back from the sun now. And hypothetically, the comet could break up at any time. We don't know. So this is literally a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you can see it. The best spots to see it from are actually some kick-ass gravel routes. Here's a tool that if you're not going to be able to use any of the Spinistry routes or join us on the club Spinistry ride on Saturday night, here's a tool you can use for yourself to find the best spots to view it. I'll just give a very, very quick overview how this works. So the website is darksitefinder.com. We'll go to the map page. So basically, wherever you see lots of color, that's where there's lots of light pollution, and it makes it unlikely, or at least more difficult, to see something like a comet in the sky. And obviously, very cool, stars and galaxies in the Milky Way and all that good stuff. So anybody that's been out looking at crazy starry nights in the middle of nowhere, you know what we're getting at. If you're ever in a true dark skies location, just what you see in the night sky is absolutely amazing. If you haven't been in that situation yet, you need to make it a focus of your world, something you really need to latch onto and do as quickly as you can. I'm not saying this is the trip for you, but here's a great tool for whenever it does work into your schedule to identify some good areas. We're going to zoom in a little bit tighter on Texas just to give an overview. So this big blob right here, that's the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Lots of light, lots of light, lots of light. So basically, the ideal would be to be in a gray area or an almost black area. We don't have any of those very close to any of the major cities in Texas. So the best we can do is maybe get into this orange, gold, light green towards dark green area. Now, here's what's really important. If you're looking at this map to find your own spot to view, again, you're going to be looking to the northwest. So even if you have a lot of light pollution behind you, the direction you want to be looking in, you want minimal light pollution. And that's what we're going to have going with our ride this weekend. We'll be on the edge of the light pollution behind us from the Metroplex, but we'll be looking out over this area here that has much better dark skies potential. Also down in Austin, the Austin Central Texas area, we have a route that goes into this dark skies area, looking into this direction for people to check out. And even for Houston, we're not able to look out into a big dark skies area like this. But for Houston folks, we have a route that kind of is on this green area going into the blue. We don't know. I don't know if you're actually going to be able to see the comet there, but there's nothing wrong with exploring. How to find the best spots to view it, we did that. Where and when to see it, we did that. Suggested bicycle and overland routes. All right, so this is some pretty cool stuff here. We've put together several routes so far. Again, feel free to email us, spinistry@gmail.com, if you're a Club Spinistry member and none of these work for you. Give us a location where you would like to be near, and we'll see if we can point you towards some stuff or give you some tips at least. This is meant for people that aren't able to make our club ride, group ride Saturday night out of Sanger and need to do something on their own. We have another map that we've used for other things recently, our LBJ Grasslands map, because the staging area for this one has a great bluff overview that looks out towards the northwest. So this parking area right here, this should be a great spot to look to the northwest. It's a high ground. So high ground with a low horizon helps as well. And I know the night skies are pretty good here. I've camped out here a couple times and the stars were really good. So I would expect this to be a pretty neat spot. I also recommend this as a car camping route, an overlanding route. Just get out and explore, check out the national grasslands. There's free dispersed camping in all of this, or most of this. I have some specific camp spots marked out for that. So for North Texas, if you're not joining us for the group ride out of Sanger and you want to go out on your own adventure, between now and whenever the comet disappears, check out this LBJ Grasslands area. That's a fantastic spot. You can camp, head out with your family. There's some swimming lakes, fishing lakes, and things like that. We have some routes near Llano that should work really well. And a shorter route that starts and ends near Llano if you want to actually ride the bike. Here's one I really like a lot, though. This is a long route. I would consider this, particularly this time of year, more of an overlanding driving route. There's some really neat hill country stuff to see in this. It goes right by Enchanted Rock if you want to check that out. The Willow City Loop. There's this. It's just an amazing drive. A lot of this is now paved that used to be dirt roads, but they're still very cool roads. There's still a lot of dirt roads in this as well. I really have this more in mind as an overlanding route for people to do with their families. And we have the start and end for this loop at the Oxford Ranch campground. It's a private, pretty rustic campground. It's a really neat camping area. I highly recommend them. Their prices are dynamite. It's near Llano. There's also some other stuff in Llano if you want to camp up there. And then also for the Houston area, what we're calling our Houston Neowise route, this is actually this Shelby area where we do our Shelby ride each year. Near Houston, this is one of the very, very few dark skies areas right here. You can look to the northwest, and Giddings is just far enough away that I don't think it should be too much of a light pollution problem, but it's hard to say. This one's a bear. This one's a bear. It's amazing. It's amazing land out here. We may go out this way ourselves Sunday if things work out for us. It's the Black Mesa area. It's the corner of the Oklahoma Panhandle, Colorado, and New Mexico. It's the Tri-Points area here. And this is true. Let's go back to the map. I want to show you this. This is true dark skies area. Let me find that map. Here we go. There we go. See this little marker here in this big black void? That is Black Mesa State Park, and that is completely coincidental. I had already mapped this area out before last year, and I had a friend that was earlier today asking for suggestions on where to go to see the Comet, and I said, hey, maybe check out the Black Mesa area. And then when I looked at the map, what I realized is that's the nearest dark skies area that we have anymore. The reason we would go up Sunday night is because Saturday night we have our actual Club Spinistry Comet Neowise viewing ride July night train bicycle party thing. Our longer routes for this, 55 and 75 miles, both use Wade Road. Should be an ideal viewing point. You have some high ground, not much light off to the northwest at all. So we expect that to be a good spot. The shorter route on Saturday night doesn't go all the way out to Wade Road because then it wouldn't be a short route to get out there. I'm probably going to drive the furthest out points of the short route, which are fairly close to Wade Road, but hopefully find the best vantage point on the short route, and I'll add that to the map as well. So the Club Spinistry Comet Neowise, this is a free group ride for Club Spinistry members. And again, this is our kickoff Club Spinistry weekly adventure event that we're putting together. The way these weekly adventures are meant to work, most of the time each week we're going to come out with what we think is a really cool ride for people to do. It may be gravel, it may be paved, it might even be a point-to-point mountain bike thing. Who knows? We're going to come up with a different ride each week that should be the route itself has some cool features that most people might not ever come across on their own. We like to throw some history into the mix if we can, and if we can route you by some good food and drink along the way, we're going to make a point to do that. These weekly adventures, that just means we come up with an adventure each week for y'all to check out on your own schedule. It's not going to be a group event each and every time. Some of them will work out that way. This time around, we're kicking it off in style. We've got a once-in-a-lifetime comet. We've got almost a new moon. We've got a great venue to launch from, and we've got a great gravel ride to send people out on. So we're going to put all these pieces together for this weekend. Kick off the Club Spinistry weekend adventures. Next week we'll roll out another one, and these maps will always be there for Club Spinistry members to access anytime. We'll create specific pages for detailed information for Club Spinistry members to look up, so they can, they can get the details about what camping's in the area, what food and drink, if there's a gate code to be used or something like that. All those details will be available for you to, whenever it fits into your schedule, to ride these adventures, the ones you want to, when you want to. And our obligation to our Club Spinistry members is to put out a new adventure each week for you. So we think we're starting off pretty well. This is a pretty cool one here. Please do like our video on YouTube. Please do subscribe to the channel. It's very important. Mostly, do leave your comments and share with other people that you think might enjoy these adventures as well.